Welcome to Intercom's VCOM System Administration tutorial. Please be sure you have both the VCOM Virtual Matrix program installed and the license file from your sales representative before continuing. First, we will begin by opening the Virtual Matrix program. This will open an event log window showing the status of the Virtual Matrix program. Keep this window open. Within this window, you will see the date/time of each event as the matrix starts up. Once the virtual matrix has finished loading, open the System Administration program. This will open the VCOM System Administration login window. Before logging in, we will need to configure the System Administration program to connect with the virtual matrix. To do this, we click on the Configure button in the bottom left corner of the login window. This is where we will configure the network settings of the Virtual Matrix program in the configuration window. The system configuration IP address is the IP address of the computer running the configuration software. The Virtual Matrix IP address is where we will enter the IP address and port number shown in the Virtual Matrix window. Here we will enter the IP address and port number shown in the line Server Ready for VCOM connections, then click Apply when finished. Please note that your IP settings may differ based upon your LAN configuration. In this case, please consult the administrator of your network for the correct IP configuration of your Virtual Matrix program. After clicking Apply, this will bring us back to the login window. By default, the administrator username is admin, all lowercase. Password is blank by default and does not require any change. If you would like the System Administration program to automatically connect to this virtual matrix, click the checkmark box Login Automatically. Once you're finished, click the Login button to continue. This will open the VCOM System Administration window. Upon first signing in, you will need to load the license file provided to you by your sales representative once they have received your unique system identification code. To view the system identification code and load the license file, click the ellipsis button next to the system information to access the VCOM System Identification Code window. The System Identification Code is displayed in the System Identification Code box. To upload the license file, click on the Upload License File button and browse to the folder the virtualmatrix.key file is located. Then click Close to finish. When the appropriate license file has been loaded, we will see the amount of licensed connections that are available to the virtual matrix. The first configurations we want to go through are the system settings. Here we can modify the System Administrator login username and password. This will secure your system from unwanted changes. If you need to set up your server settings, you can change the primary server network settings. If your system will be supporting SIP clients, you can change the SIP data ports and domain accordingly in this window. Some users will use a failover server to ensure system operation in case of system or power failure. The secondary or failover server network settings box allows this configuration. Please contact your sales representative for more information regarding this operation. The audio settings box allows you to set the system-wide sample rate and output level gain. These changes affect all ports of the virtual matrix. Under the voice activity indication box is where you can change the color of the selector text and background when voice activity is detected on any port's output. For failover settings and geo-mapping server network settings, please refer to our website for system features. Click OK to save the changes and return to the System Administration window. Now we can begin configuring clients by clicking the Client Configuration button. This opens the VCOM Client Configuration window. In this window, the full list of configurable clients is shown in the table. You can have more clients configured than the number of licenses. However, the number of licenses limits how many clients can be logged into the virtual matrix at any one time. This allows for multiple configurations depending upon the intended use of the virtual matrix for different events. The first step in setting up a communications matrix is deciding who needs to be on the system. Start by making a list of the clients that will be using the system. Classify them so that you know what their function is and who they need to talk to on the system. Also, keep account of how many potential users would be active at any one time. Once the list is complete, we will begin adding the list into the client configuration table. Start by clicking the Add button to open the VCOM Client Configuration Add/Edit window. First, we will need to specify the client type by using the drop-down menu. For this, we will set up a VCOM control panel for Windows Desktop. Next, we need to give the client a description that helps identify their function. This will only be displayed to the system administrator. Now we will give the client a login name by filling in the box next to login name. Do the same for the password box to give the client a private password, or leave it blank for ease of use for the client. In the Selector Talk/Listen name box, enter the name for the client to be displayed on the selector of other users' VCP. This will complete the setup of the client for this tutorial. Click OK to save the configuration. Add each of the clients on your list in the same way. When you have finished adding all the clients in your list, you can now begin to build out the selector assignments of all VCP clients. To build out the control panel selectors, we will begin by defining the default selectors for all users. This way, we start with a basic setup. To do this, we need to make sure there is not a client selected in the table. If so, click the client selected once more to clear out any selection. Click on the Default Selector Assignments button in the bottom left corner. This opens the VCOM Client Configuration Selector Assignments window. The box on the left shows non-assigned selectors. This will be the list we will choose selectors to assign as a default to all clients' VCPs. There are three styles of buttons to assign selectors as. The first is the Split Talk/Listen. This will assign the selector with both the green-bordered Listen and red-bordered Talk buttons. This is a dual action button. The next is a Talk-only assignment, which is a red-bordered Talk button. The third style of button you can assign to a selector is the Listen only. This is the green-bordered Listen button. The fourth selection of buttons is called a spacer. This allows for spaces to be placed between specific selectors to prevent errant button presses. To remove assigned selectors, click on the selector you want to be removed and click the Remove button. To entirely clear all panel's default selectors, click the Clear button. For the purpose of this tutorial, we will clear the default selectors completely. Keep in mind only the active selectors will be shown in the VCP application to save screen size of the VCP. This way, clients are only displayed when they are signed into the virtual matrix. Now we will add 3 VCP assignments or point-to-point and 2 party line assignments to a VCP. The point-to-point assignments I chose to be talk-only buttons, and the PL assignments to be split talk/listen buttons. This will be my default selector assignments for all clients. Click OK to save the changes. You will be prompted on whether you want to apply the new default settings to all clients. Click Yes. Now we will review how to configure an individual client's selector assignments. Select the desired user by clicking on their row in the table. Now we will click on the Selector Assignments button. This will open the client's Selector Assignments window. Notice in the Assign Selectors box that the default selectors we defined are already assigned. This user will need access to an all-page selector for system-wide pages. We scroll down and select the all-page selector by clicking on it. Then we will add it to this client's VCP as a talk-only assignment by clicking on the talk-only button. To save the changes, click OK, and this will return us to the client configuration window when we have completed this client's VCP configuration. Continue to make changes to other clients in the same manner. For this tutorial, we have completed a basic setup and established communication between clients. We can now log out of the System Administration program. To do this, we exit the Client Configuration window, which brings us back to the main page of the System Administration program. Click the Logout button to exit the System Administration program and return to the login screen. This concludes our tutorial over the System Administration program. For further information about the VCOM System Administration Program or other products, please visit our website at www.intracomsystems.com or visit our YouTube channel for updated tutorials. Thank you for trusting Intercom for your mission-critical communications.